Today we are going to create a user interface for a VM instance on the compute engine of Google Cloud Platform. You get 12 months 300 free trial when you first create a Google Cloud Platform. So of this $300, if the $300 expires first, you will have to pay for the rest of the services that you use. For your account, you can create one for free. I'm going to use my own one. And from here, I have already created my platform. I'm going to create a project. Okay, so I'm going to use my organization and I'm going to create a new project. So my project name will be sample project. And I'm going to change this ID because I don't need these numbers. And the location is actually my organization. The organization that this Gmail account is there. Okay. Okay, this project ID is not available, so I'm gonna search as okay, whatever this one, so I'm gonna use this and whatever it's coming and create. So you can see that the project is being created here. So we will get a notification that the project is created. You can see it is circling. Yes, now my project is created. You can see. So we will create a compute engine. So you can go from here, compute engine, or from here you can go to compute engine and get to create VM instance. When you create a VM instance, select from here your project. So I selected my project. And for that project, the compute engine is getting ready. Give it some time for the compute engine to get ready for the project. You can either create or import or take a start. I'm going to create. So here for the name of the instance, region, I use Asia Southeast. You can select whatever you require, and with the increasing order of the alphabet you can get a newer machine. So I'm using this. Right. So here you can see my free trial credits remaining, and this is a monthly estimated one for this machine type. So you can select any machine type from here, or you can customize the number of cores, memory, and you can also add the GPU. I'm going to use the smallest one. Well, I'm going to use this micro one. Well, I'll use full CPU one. So you can see it here. So the boot disk, I'm going to use Debian GNU Linux 9 storage. You can change it. Here you can see other Linux distro and as well as Windows, and also Debian based images with PyTorch and Debian based stretch with TensorFlow. You can also get application images, and you can load a custom image as well. Well, what am I going to use? Well, for my previous creation of the GUI, I used this one, so it was successful. So let's try this Debian GNU version. And this is the standard size persistent disk, and you can select SSD or which one. I'm going to select SSD first. So then select, I have this, and you can see it's increased $1. Allow the full access, allow HTTP traffic, and I'm going to create. It will take a little bit of time to create this. Okay, so now the VM instance is created. You can say see an internal IP address, external. So we are going to connect it to that. Okay, so we'll say SSH connection. Make sure give it time to connect. Okay, So it's running, it's up. So let's try this guideline. So I will upload this guideline to the below the link, below the video. So first let's update this one. Let's update. Make it smaller. You can see it here. Okay, let's update. For the VNC server, it's the one we are using to have a user interface connection to the VM instance. So I'm going to use type VNC server and I'm going to install it in here. Wow, it's a lot of time. Well, it takes a lot of fun because actually they have not pre-installed other stuff which are necessary. We'll try this install for this and see whether we can create a GUI for this one. Okay, it's up, and I'm gonna use XFCE, not GNARM, because this is lightweight and it's quite fast. Let's say yes. So make sure to set the one is English. It will take a couple of minutes to install this one. I'm gonna show some things about VNC server. To clear this, yes. So okay, right. So to start VNC server, we have to type VNC server. So here at start, you have to give a password, so which will enable for your client to connect to this VM instance. So I'm giving a password. Make sure it is less than 8 characters. And I'm gonna say yes to this, and just for my use is in use, I'm gonna type the same. So it's right, now it's connected. So I'm gonna use install netcat to check whether we can connect to this IP addresses of this one VM instance. So netcat nc command. So I'm trying whether I can connect to the localhost on this port. So if it is available, you should get this output. So it's done. So let's see whether we can access the external IP address. So this is the external IP address on this port. So no output means it's not working, right? So for that one, we have to make a firewall rule. So firewall rule, we have to go to this one, and here in network, VPC network firewall rule. I'm going to open it in a new tab. So you have to select the project that you are working here, right? Make sure to select that, and let's create a firewall. So my firewall name is VNC server. I'm going to keep all these default, and I'm going to target tag as VNC server. IP range is 0.0 plus. So of the port, I'm going to use that specific port, this 5901. So it's going to allow that. Just create it. Right now our firewall rule is created. You can see it once it's done. The rule is created. You can see that the target is the VNC server. So we have to set our VM instance to that target. We go there, select the instance, and make sure to edit it. It won't cause any problems. And from the network tags, you have to type VNC server target, and then make sure to save it. Okay, it's done, and let's try to make it connection. Now it says you can see that it outputs a value, so which means you can access it. So now we have to make sure it forwards the user values. It can be accessed from a client. So it's like the user interface forwarding, UI forwarding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this one. Okay. Right. So you can see these two are already the same. So this one here, it's a fix for the genome. I'm not using genome, so I'm going to make this comment. So how to edit this one? Press I in your keyboard. Sorry, I in your keyboard, and go here. Comment this two. So in here, I'm gonna copy paste this part to here. So press escape, type WQ, write and quit, and I'm gonna give it access to this one. Right. So it's done. So I have already started the VNC server earlier, so I'm gonna kill that VNC server instance just to make sure it's okay to kill, and then I'm gonna start the VNC server again. You can see it's already started. So as the client one, I'm using the VNC Viewer. You can get it for free. So you can create actually a new connection from here, and you can set it up, but it uses an encryption. So for the easiest part is this. So you have to copy this external IP address. That's how this client accesses this VM instance. So make it copy, paste, and colon, and 5901. That's the port. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to enter, press enter. It's connecting. I'm continuing. So remember the password that you gave when you start VNC server first. So type that password here. Make sure to remember it. Okay. So it asks, welcome the first start of the panel. So one empty panel means you get an empty panel, no items there. So I'm going to use the default configuration. So you can see the default configurations are coming up here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this one, this default configuration, this close, and right. So it's up, and you can use terminal emulator. And here in my one, I cannot access the browser. There's an issue. So I can use terminal emulator and install Google Chrome using terminal. Okay. So that's all what you have to do in start a UI. So before starting the UI, one thing I want to show you is I'm going to stop this one, close it. I'm going to kill the VNC server. I'm going to kill it, and I'm going to try to connect this to one. But it will take time, and it will try to connect it, and once it is not possible, it will revert that you cannot connect to this VM instance. The reason is we have not started our VNC server. So make sure to start the SSH connection and start VNC server, and when it's started, you can connect it. So now it's a little bit having a good look. Okay, so few things to remind is you can change the machine type if you need to increase the number of CPU cores or the memory, you can change it, but for that you have to stop the VM instance running. The other thing is, once you stop, this external IP address might be changed, and make sure that this is going to be charged hourly. So the longer you keep it running, the charge will happen. So make sure to stop it if you are not using any of these. Okay, so that's how we create a user interface for a Google Cloud VM instance. And the next video I will show how to run a web application, actually Python based web application, and how to output it from the instance, how to access it externally. So that's all for today. Thank you.